Hey guys, I'm about to go rent a truck and help my son move today, but I had to make this video. I've been reading about these allegations all week, and I just figured someone else would pick up on it. And so far, I haven't seen any of our guys talk about it, so I just want to put it out there, and hopefully, it'll spread so the truth gets known this week. So. But before I forget, if you like my content, please subscribe. Since this election, I've been losing like 20. I think this week I lost like 25 subscribers. They politely tell me, they've tuned in for my Catholic apologetics and stories about the faith, which I keep promising everybody I'm going back to. In fact, this weekend I have two great videos: how to talk to a Protestant about Mary, how to talk to a Protestant about purgatory, and several other ones on evangelism that I have in my head. Just gotta make the video. But I've been real busy with work. I'm a blue collar guy. I work. This ain't my job. This is just my ministry, I guess you would call it. But so please subscribe if you like this content, and I promise you, once this election is over, I've been saying once this election is over, I'm going back to Catholic apologetics and talking more about the Catholic faith. But the election isn't over yet, no matter what Fox and CNN is saying. And I just wanted to hit this one point real quick today. During the Hugo Chavez regime in Venezuela, a company named Smartmatic, created by Hugo Chavez's cronies with help from Cuba and China, created this voting system called Smartmatic to help flip the votes of Venezuela and keep him in for 20 years, however long he was in. And now these guys have, of course, cozied up to Maduro, this vicious dictator they have in Venezuela now. And now the new owners of this Smartmatic renamed it Dominion. So you have Dominion voting machines. Now these, I don't know if you heard about it. I've been reading about it for weeks, and like I said, of course, the mainstream press, who loves our new socialist president-elect, is suppressing this news. So if you haven't heard about it, Sidney Powell, very powerful, very influential lawyer, very highly respected, and Rudy Giuliani, who the press is trying to make look like a buffoon, but they think we have short memories, because when Rudy Giuliani was a U.S. prosecutor in New York City, the same press used to call him Elliot Ness. And if you're too young to remember Elliot Ness, please look him up, because Elliot Ness was considered the best law enforcement guy in the world. He couldn't be bought by the mafia. He brought down Al Capone, and Giuliani brought down Gotti and many other crime bosses. Giuliani's no joke when it comes to crime. He's not going to put out some conspiracy theory. Whatever he talks about, he always provides the evidence. And Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani have evidence that these Dominion voting machines that were made by Hugo Chavez's cronies and are used in Venezuela today by Maduro's cronies were the ones in these states that flip votes. And if you remembered in previous videos, we have proof that the votes went like in real time from 20,000 for Biden to 20,000. 20,000 for Trump, switch right before our eyes to Biden. And in states like Michigan and Pennsylvania, they say, oh, these were just computer glitches. We'll switch them. And then somewhere they switched them. Actually, Republican congressmen won, who they thought got killed. They thought that these Republican congressmen in red counties in Michigan lost, and now they won. So this is evidence, but we have to prove that it's on purpose, because the Democrats are saying these are just glitches. So that's what's going on. But it really shouldn't surprise you, because the Democrats and the big tech billionaires from the very beginning have been trying to impeach our president. They've been trying to discredit him. They've been lying about him, caught in so many lies. And they said they weren't going to let him win. And, it's no coincidence that they're getting help from Venezuela. I mean, when the Democrats are saying they want to follow Venezuela's model and pack the courts like Venezuela did, and Joe Biden wouldn't deny it, of course, his friend Bernie Sanders said they definitely want to do it. And Bernie Sanders is on record saying that Hugo Chavez was a great leader and we should follow his model. This is no surprise. And I know a lot of Democrats that voted for Joe Biden may not be socialists. They're like, he's a nice guy, he's a moderate. Just look at his career. He's an empty suit. He just goes with wherever the power is. You know, when racism was popular in his party, he was the most racist. Even Kamala Harris pointed out his racism, that he was against desegregating schools and said he didn't want his son to go to a racial jungle. And then when being tough on crime was popular in the 90s, he created the Biden crime bill that had is responsible for mass incarceration of black people. Now that socialism and Marxism and communism is popular in his party, he said he's going to have Bernie Sanders like one of his economic advisors. You know, hardcore socialists. AOC is going to be involved. Beto O'Rourke, all these radical left-wingers. And, you know, I was going to leave the political stuff alone from here on out and go to apologetics, Catholic apologetics, and I promise you I got a lot of good stuff coming for those who are interested in that. But when I get up this morning and I see a peaceful million-man mega march route, a peaceful march, and you see grandmothers and grandchildren, and I know people that went there with their little children. These are peaceful Christian people. And of course I knew the Marxist Black Lives Matter was going to show up, and I knew the Marxist Antifa was going to. Sure enough, you see grandmothers and grandkids getting spit and kicked and punched by these violent left-wingers. And I'm like, these people got to be stopped. And the only way we're going to stop them is in the courts. And the media wants us to not believe our own eyes. Like I said before in previous videos, I've been watching elections every 4 years since I'm a teenager. And I said, never in my life did I see someone win Florida and win Ohio and lose. And honestly, I don't remember that happened, so I Googled it, and I was right. It didn't happen since 1960. And it's not that they have so many electoral votes that it's hard to overcome. It's that they represent 90% of the country, those two states. And also, I found out Iowa and Florida. If you win Iowa and Florida, you never lose. Trump won Florida, Iowa, and Ohio by large numbers. Large numbers. This should be a trounce. I believe this was a landslide victory for Trump, and they stole the election. There's just too many discrepancies. But it's all going to come down to the court. So we got to pray that the courts have integrity and they're not bullied by these left-wing mobs, and they make the right decision. It's like, for example, we all went to bed, you know, Pennsylvania. We had Pennsylvania by 700,000 votes. And then all of a sudden he loses Pennsylvania by 50,000 votes. And just that alone, we see the unconstitutional way the Democrats work. According to the United States Constitution, every state legislature has the duty and the right, it's their constitutional duty to enforce voting laws. So the Pennsylvania state legislature said any vote coming in by mail after the polls close at 8 o'clock on election day can't be counted. And it's just like if you got there too late, you know, if I got to the poll at 9 o'clock, I couldn't vote if I wanted to go in person. So why should I let someone who mailed it in later? So the governor goes to their courts, which is packed with liberal Democrats, and they'll say, no, you can let it come in like 6 days later. And then they add to it, if there's no signature or the signatures don't match, it's okay. So that's another thing we're fighting in the courts that we got to win. Because when those votes came in Philadelphia, like I said in previous videos, the Democrats wouldn't let the Republicans in to watch them count the votes. If they had nothing to hide, why would they not let these people in? It took a court order. And then once the court got them to go in, they kept these people 30, in some instances 100 feet away. So what are they hiding? If I won, I would want to show everybody, look, I won. There's nothing to hide. Why are the Democrats in court fighting, recounting these ballots by hand where people could see it? Because they're hiding this. And I've never been a conspiracy theory. When Obama beat Romney, everybody was telling me there's something up with the voting machines. And I said, you know what? No, this guy, and I went to work the next day. I congratulated my boss. We used to debate. We had friendly debates. You know, he was a big Obama supporter. and I was a Romney supporter, and I shook his hand. I said, congratulations, your guy won. I know it's very inspiring, because he was an African-American guy. I said, you know, I know it's very inspiring for you. I said, the guy gives a great speech, man. I said, I don't even like his policy, and I was inspired. And he started laughing. But that's how it was back then. But I knew Obama, even though he had dangerous socialist policies, I knew he was very charismatic, very likable. He had charm. I knew people were drawn to him and were going to vote for him. It was obvious. But Joe Biden has the charisma of a potato. He couldn't get more than 5 people at a rally on the same days in the same states where Trump got 55,000 people. The media wants us not to believe our own eyes here. This is crazy. This is nuts. They're stealing the election right in front of us. And we just got to stand strong and just trust that all things work together for good for those who love the Lord. And even if somehow they steal this, I envision Trump TV just destroying the social media. So let's pray that he wins. And if he doesn't win, let's pray for Trump TV. This is the next big thing. God bless. Keep the faith. And like I said, please subscribe, because like I said, I looked this morning, I lost like 25 subscribers overnight. And, you know, politely they tell me, hey, you know, I'm not into politics. I'm here for the Catholic apologetics. But I got some good arguments that you can give to Protestants on Mary, purgatory. Got a lot of stuff coming up I'm really anxious to do. I just need time, you know, working a lot of hours and helping my kid move and a lot of things going on. Haven't been able to get them out there. But these political ones, I could just ramble right off my head. The apologetic ones, I like to take time and show you the verses, you know, and we break it down so we have a better argument to our evangelical friends. And I know a lot of friends say, well, you know, you should do that with the political stuff, but I would be here for an hour. But there's great sites, Church Militant, Taylor Marshall, Timothy Gordon. You know, they have the ability to take an hour and break it down for you. I recommend checking those guys out if you're into politics. If you're into apologetics, tune in to me, and I'm going to give you some good stuff, I promise. God bless, and stay Catholic.